Adios.
Now from
A little early. It's good. Welcome into Sports Tonight.
We got a lot to talk about. We're not going to waste
We're
time.
very eager. Have quite the show lined up for you on this Tuesday. Wow, I almost said Wednesday because it feels like a Wednesday a little
Yeah,
bit.
it does.
We're going to talk about Hawks. They're back in action. First preseason game against the Pacers. We're going to talk about Georgia Tech coming off a big win. Jets with a little bit of a bombshell today. And then
Court
opening night
intrigue
for
over
hockey.
in
We're
the
stoked about
Meadowlands
it.
and well, you're stoked about it.
My team isn't losing yet.
I think hockey is a dumb sport, and you shouldn't give up 3 goals in a minute 55.
She's
But
just.
we're going to get there. We're going
Yes,
to get there.
we're going to get there. Give it time. It's only the first day of the season. Let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. They held their media day about a week ago, and now they are back in action at State Farm Arena tonight. They are taking on the Pacers. Head coach Quinn Snyder would not budge on whether Zachary Resanchez was coming off the bench or he would be a starter. That remains to be seen. Tip-off is at 7:30. Ellie, before we hear from Zach just about from Media Day leading up to this season expectations, 2 questions for you. We'll start with just the overall encompassing. Where do you see this Hawks team going, and what is the actual realistic expectation for the Hawks this season?
I mean, I think people should temper their expectations, certainly. And obviously, this is a team that was in the lottery, and Zachary Resanchez is not Victor Wembanyama. He cannot drag this team to a deep postseason run. Granted, I don't think anyone but the most Kool-Aid drinking optimist is saying, the Hawks are going to get to the conference finals again or whatever with this team.
I think I really want to see the rotations Quinn puts together and to see how it looks. Obviously, they went off after some wings. They're bigger, but is that going to overshadow the way you need it to Trey's defense? How does Trey distributing look with these new players? I think there's a lot to take into effect there. My second question is this. Has there ever been a first overall pick from the draft who has been least discussed than Zachary Resanchez? There has been no chatter. That was not the case with Victor Wembanyama. This is insanity to me, no? And for that, I want him to have an incredible season.
At least in my living memory, no. At least Anthony Bennett had the what the heck factor. At least people were talking about because they know what the Cavs were doing. But no.
No, it's solely because of
first
that.
overall pick is flying under the radar somehow.
And I hope he just has a stellar year. I hope
I
we see
hope
a lot
so
of
too.
action. Hope we see him in a lot of action. I hope he just makes waves. We'll get hopefully a little taste tonight, but let's hear from Zachary Resanchez gearing up for the season.
That you got to play a little bit with Trey. We know you guys have been doing OTAs and Dyson as well. Just what is it like playing with him, and what is it like guarding him as well?
It's pretty nice. Just playing with him, it's like it makes you life easier. Make sure you're on the right spot so he can pass you the ball, and it's such a great passer. So for me, as a shooting guard, it's such a blessing to be able to play with him, and trying to guard him is tough. It's tough, but that's how you improve, and that's what I love to do. So yeah, doing pickups at practices was super cool to be on this team and against him too. So that's it.
Hey, Zach, following up on that, what was the process like of starting to build chemistry with Trey, somebody who you're going to get a chance to play with so much this season?
It was great, you know. Just trying to met him and obviously met everybody also, but yeah, be around Trey was super cool. We had a good time together. We I trying to know him. He's trying to know me too. So yeah, we just spending time together and enjoy practices and the free time. And but I would say that's the same for everybody else. And I really enjoy getting to know my teammates because they're such a great players, but also great guys, great personalities. So I'm super happy to be able, to meet everybody and getting to know everyone else.
Morning, Zach. Welcome to Atlanta. Right here. Excuse me if I slaughter this. Comment tu vis Atlanta jusqu'à présent?
So you want me to say in French or in English?
English, please.
I got you. So it's been great. It's been great. It's an adjustment to make, but definitely great thing to do. I mean, I'm 19 and I have the opportunity to do so much in my life. So yeah, outside basketball too. Just moving to a new city, American city, that's way different than in France. So I'm super exciting, super happy. And Atlanta is such a great city, great people all over here. So I'm super happy to be a part of the city right now. So.
Zach, welcome to your first NBA Media Day. Of course, with being the first #1 overall pick, there comes with a lot of expectations. Hawks fans are excited to see you on the court this season. What are some personal expectations you have for your game this upcoming year?
I feel like there is expectation anytime, everywhere. I had some of them last season, but I made it because I was working out and I was focusing on the right thing, which is trying to win games, be able to compete and impact the game. So that's what I'm gonna do right for this season. I just keep it simple, keep it real, working out. I'm a hard worker and I just love being a competitor, and that's also why they choose me, because I want to win games, and that's the type of player that I want to be, that I am, and just play hard and not focusing on the wrong thing, which is I consider wrong, because I don't like this type of individual stuff. I just want to be a part of the team, and I'm not comfortable with all the individual type of stuff. So I just focusing, like I said, on the right thing, working out, being my bubble, and be around my teammates, and that's it. Just simple as that. I'm not complicating myself. I'm not worried about anything else about the team or my private life. It's just simple. Nothing to worry about.
Hi, Zachary, right here. So the Hawks finished 6th in pace last season. As someone who likes to get out and run, we saw you do that in summer league. How does knowing that one of your strengths match the Hawks' offensive strengths from last season going into this year?
So I would say versatile player. So I like to do a lot of things on the court. I think I can be useful with many ways. I'm talking about like scoring, shooting, rebounding, defending. Like there is so much stuff that can help the team for like to win games, and I think that's the thing that like the coach like seeing me that he can exchange me in like couple position, ask me to do a lot of things, whatever he needs. I can fit in the system, you know. So I'll probably say that's the main strength for me, be able to adapt myself and doing extra stuff and a lot of stuff on the court.
Hey, Zach. So, is there any like particular players this season that you look forward to playing against as the season goes on?
I think like as a rookie, every game's gonna be special, gonna be different. But so I'm excited just to start the season, you know, and like especially with this calendar, like.
So we will see what Reese Shea ends up doing with the Hawks tonight. We'll keep you posted on Atlanta News First at 11 if you want to tune in. Something else we got to talk about, Brent Key and the Yellow Jackets, man. They got a big one this past weekend over Duke, who was undefeated. Tech now sits at 4-2. They're definitely keeping their hopes of making it to that conference championship game alive. A long way to go, but you definitely had to win that one against Duke. Now you travel back on the road to face UNC. You got a feeling for this one? Do you think it's a little bit of a trap game for Tech, maybe? No? No?
This is a UNC team that got smacked around by James Madison.
So no.
No.
But this is a Tech team that just last year lost to Bowling Green.
This year's different, though. This year, I mean, obviously, Florida State is not the team everyone thought they were in the preseason.
Absolutely
but
not.
Still,
And your one
they're finding
road
ways.
game to Louisville.
They're finding ways
'Kay.
to pull these games off.
I'll be very interested to watch this one. Head coach Brent Key spoke earlier today about the matchup and a familiar face on the other sideline, and defensive coordinator Jeff Collins, former Tech coach. So let's hear from Key.
All right, just closing out the game last week. I thought it was a good football game. Just obviously there's things we got to work on and continue to get better at, but just overall that was a good football game between two good teams that played hard, played good football. As a fan of the game, it's one that I would have enjoyed watching. But we're very fortunate to come out of the game with a win. Get back on a good track. I thought the things we did in the bye week really helped us. I thought we were fresher, looked faster out there, and continued to make progress and improvements. I think the best thing about the game was just the environment of the stadium, the students. The students have been awesome. I mean, they have been absolutely outstanding this year. And, the more we can continue to build on that and get more and more people here and being loud and really helping to impact and be a factor in the outcome of the football games here at home, really setting up a really nice building blocks for what we want to continue to do with that. So I just want to take a minute and thank all the students, all the fans that were there at the game, but in particularly the student body that's continued to show to come out and support their fellow classmates here at Georgia Tech. So really appreciate that from all the students and look forward to the next time. A couple players of the week from the game. Defensively, JJ, he was active as all get out. He was all over the place. Got his first start on Saturday, opposite of Zeke, and man, he was a force in the run game, a force in being able to affect the quarterback. A couple TFLs. So really proud of JJ and the development he's had and the job that Jess has done with him. Over the last, really the first 6 games. Offensively, gave it to the offensive line and Rylan Godey. a couple guys down at the tight end position, and I think Ryland played 70-plus plays in the football game and just blocked his tail off. Played as good a football game as he's played up to this point, and was really excited for him to be able to get out there and have that success and kind of the journey he's been on. And then along with the offensive line, I thought they got back in a groove again. And in the fourth quarter, were able to do what we wanted them to do and what we needed them to do to be able to win the football game. So, along with JJ, I've been proud of the defense and the improvements they've made week to week. We've still got a long way to go. And if you ask Tooch, he'll agree with that. We met on Sunday morning going over the game, and it's really cool to have some coordinators that really have the same mindset and the same belief and thoughts that I do of improvement. And, nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you're not going to sit there and kiss the crack of their butts all day long when we still got a lot of improvement to do. So, but I've been proud of the defense, and especially particularly the run defense. I think we're improving dramatically in that regard, and we were much better on third downs getting off the field on Saturday. We got to continue that this week, going into a conference game on the road, early kickoff versus a very talented UNC roster. They've had a tough stretch the last couple of weeks, and those are the scariest teams to go up against. They really are, man. I mean, they were playing at home, playing early. They got some things going on up there, and to have those guys know the talent they have, and see the glimpses of how they played in a lot of times this year. So it'll be a challenge for us on Saturday. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to going against Coach Brown. You're just one of the the active winningest coach in college football. I think he's 6th or 7th all time. I know Mike has it in his notes here. 6th all time winningest coach. 279 career wins. I mean, Matt, just a legend in the game to be able to compete against. So we're excited. The team's excited, and we need to continue to have a good week of preparation to be able to go up there and play a good football game.
Coach, talking about the improvements in the run game, I mean, it's easy to just say, oh, it's been a big jump and been improvements, but what are kind of the focal points that you look at and say, this is why I've seen so much improvement?
Yeah, we broke that down on Sunday. There's number one, I think the depth on the defensive line has helped a ton. I mean, those guys are playing 25, 30 plays in a game. There were times last year we had guys playing 60, 65 plays a game, so they're fresher. The scheme is what we talked about through the whole process back in when Tooch came on and Jess came on, of how we play the game, how we play the blocks up front. We're not necessarily a gap penetrating disruption type front, and that's going to lead, especially normal downs, first and second down. You're not going to have the pressure back on the quarterback, but you're also not creating those vertical seams in the defense, flat walling it, and allowing the linebackers to be able to run free and make those plays. So I think the defensive line understanding and learning the game. Jess y'all have heard me say it before. Jess is such a great teacher, and then with Tooch behind, with the linebackers, those guys playing together as one unit, and then I think they're playing hard. I think that's something that we want to be the identity of our football team, is how hard we play for 4 quarters, and those guys are doing that.
You guys did a good job with Star Thomas this past week, but now you played probably one of the best running backs in college football in Amari Hampton. How is it making that adjustment to playing, one of these run-heavy teams like that also will take shots and trying to get your defense ready for that? Yeah,
you hear about the running back all the time, and rightfully so. He's a good football player. Really good player. But when you look at their offense, they're pretty balanced. I think they're 55, 45, somewhere in there as far as run pass. So it's not like they're lining up and running 65, 70% of the time and you can just load the box. They are going to add in the RPOs and the add-ons and take their shots down the field, which their last game they were trying to get a few more of those shots down the field vertically. So it's a challenge. We got to be able to make sure we're reading our keys, we get aligned with the tempo, reading our keys, That's going to be big, especially at the second and third level, for the run pass. And then we've got to be able to control the front, control the game up front. And obviously the D-line's the one position that doesn't have conflict, run pass, the way they play the game. So we've got to be sharp with our keys and our reads.
Obviously, on the other sideline, Jeff Collins as well. Just thoughts on seeing him again and facing his defense?
Yeah, I mean, I wish nothing the best for Jeff, except for this Saturday. So, good football coach. He's on the staff with good football coaches. It's the first time we've gone up against someone that we've worked with before.
Coach Key, on the fourth quarter, those two drives, the first one especially, a thing of beauty. Was there something that set that off? Fourth quarter, the 85-yard drive on the first possession, of course, followed it up on the next one with another long scoring drive. Anything different that set that up, or was it just a matter of the way things fell out and worked together?
When you play a game, something I've learned a long time ago, the first quarter of the game, you're seeing the flow of the game. Guys kind of get through their opening scripts offensively, the opening calls on defense. You start to settle into the game in the second quarter. Third quarter, you've come out of halftime. It usually is a pretty, unless it's just a lopsided game. The third quarter is usually that quarter that's pretty balanced and fight. This is overall. This isn't just last game. And then the fourth quarter becomes where you use your best stuff. What were your best calls? You know the game. You know how they're playing the game on both sides. And then situational football. I mean, that's what it comes down to in that fourth quarter is the situational football and being able to use your best stuff. And we preach all the time with our guys about being able to take games to the fourth quarter, that we're going to play for 4 quarters. And, the body blows are going to add up over the course of the game. And I thought that happened on Saturday where some of those, 2 and 3 yard runs, ended up being bigger runs. And not necessarily, us doing something different or them, but all of a sudden when if you're blitzing, you're a step slower getting to the gap or you're getting, creased out of the gap or whatnot. The line movement is a step slower. So that's what we've got to challenge our guys on is continue to be that type of play early on in the game. I thought Buster did a good job in the game, putting them in position to not get a bunch of negative. They leading the country, I think, in negative plays last week, 42%. And I think we had 6 in the game, which is too many for us. But at the same time, it's a lot less than they were doing with that type of operation. So I thought it was a combination of all those things. And then guys, having a will to win.
Coach, in scouting the North Carolina defense, have you noticed any similarities between what Coach Collins is doing with them versus what maybe he was doing here at the time?
Yeah, I mean there's similarities in every defense, but each week's a different game, different game plan. We got to be prepared for things that hadn't shown up on tape. I mean, people are always going to add wrinkles and twists to things, whether it be front mechanics, whether it be blitz patterns, third down matches or whatnot.
Rob?
A little banged up at the tight end position. How has it helped there to have some versatile guys that you can throw in there and maybe help out? And what's the current situation there?
Yeah, well, everybody's really a couple of guys that have been out day to day. Jackson's day to day right now. Tried to make a go of it on Saturday. He wasn't ready to go. We're not going to put him out in the way of harm if they're not ready to go. So, because he's a tough kid. I mean, he is a tough kid. Then some other guys on the team are kind of day to day, week to week with there. But look, we lean on our tight ends. We ask a lot out of our tight end group. They're versatile. They have to play at the line of scrimmage, on the ball, off the ball, split wide, a lot of motions, a lot of shifts, a lot of things they do. So we have a deep group there. We have been hit with some injuries at that spot, but we're fully confident the guys are going to be able to come out and play for us this week.
Coach, building off what?
Okay, so we'll see how Tech fares on the road. Let's switch gears to the NFL. A little bit of a bombshell. Robert Saleh fired. Apparently, the report is he walked into the building ready to go for another week, and they said, "Not so fast, sir. You're gone."
Yeah.
Do you agree with this? Do you not agree with this?
I mean, the expectations were stated before the season. It was, this team has to win now because they don't know how long they're going to get Aaron Rodgers for. They might only have him for this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense wasn't up to snuff.
I,
Is that a Robert Saleh problem?
I am very, very eager. I would have loved to know if Aaron Rodgers knew about this or played any part in it. Maybe there's reports out there and I've missed it, but I have not seen anything. In addition to that, if he was...
I've seen reports that Saleh was considering firing
Okay, that
offensive
was not true.
coordinator
There was a combative
Nathaniel
report with
Hackett.
that too, that he was never going to fire Hackett, that he was just going to demote his day-to-day responsibilities for the upcoming week.
Which is what the rumor that is now the rumor that interim head coach Jeff Ulbrich will do that and pass play calling duties down to passing game coordinator Todd Browning. So,
do you remember when I was on this show and I said the Jets are basically rerunning back what the Packers did?
Yes.
Okay. This is what happens. This is what happens because you give someone the keys to the castle, they make all the decisions, then you're not winning, and you can't do anything to him, so you have to fire your head coach or OC. I think that's what's happening. Yeah. Not to say like Aaron Rodgers to all the blame because I still think he's playing at a decently high level. Yeah, he hasn't had, he's been up and down here and there. But I still think that Nathaniel Hackett didn't have a good sample size in Denver. Him and Aaron Rodgers do get along and had a prolific offense with the Packers. But you can't always repeat those things, and things are different. Someone had to take the fall for it, and ultimately I think that does kind of fall on Robert Saleh's shoulders a little bit, whether you agree with it or not. I'm very against firing coaches mid-season, especially week 5, 6, because who are you going to go get? What's going to make this even better? You might as well write it out. But I guess when you're in a win now and you don't feel like there's hope for next season, you got to do what you got to do.
Guess so.
Alrighty, hockey time.
This is a dumb sport. Why do I care?
Ellie's a Kraken fan. I am a Bruins fan. Bruins play tonight against the Panthers. The Blues are up on the Kraken right now.
3 goals in a minute 55. What are we doing? Why do I care? Why do I care about this sport at all? I did not grow up a Seattle Kraken fan. I have no connections to the city of Seattle. It is 8:09 in the third period. Still 3-2. I am here a Kraken fan because of one of my friends. They wrote me into it once all of the stuff with the Blackhawks happened. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
This is a dumb sport.
Why
do I care?
I hope the Bruins get a little bit of revenge on the Panthers to open up the season tonight. Well, I'm not holding my breath too much, but they did finally sign Jeremy Swayman, which was like this ongoing battle back and forth. And he had someone thought maybe the organization was lying about how much they had offered, or Jeremy was and his agent. Finally, they figured out he's back with the Bruins for a good chunk of change, and you love to see it. Let's wrap it up here. What is on your mind tonight, Ellie?
So, going back to Georgia Tech, Brent Key decided to give a scholarship to a player in a very interesting way. At practice, he had campus police question running back Chad Alexander, and that turned into a huddle where Brent Key announced that he was now on scholarship, which, well deserved. He's been one of the pieces that has helped this Yellow Jackets offense run for the better part of the season. So well deserved on his part, but on Brent Key's part, there's a certain way you can feel about this.
You love to see when people get scholarships about it, get scholarships and whatnot. Interesting tactic to do so, but I'm sure Chad wasn't too angry about it at the end of the day. I will wrap up with more news out of Athens. Receiver Colby Young arrested for aggravated assault and battery on his ex-girlfriend. Kirby did talk just a few minutes ago in which he said that is still an ongoing legal matter, so he will not speak on it, and that he has not spoken to Young at that point. But, he reiterated, this is the hardest part about his coaching job. They bring in people to speak to the team about a multitude of things, and you hope it really hits home. But, unfortunately, with so many people under his reign and kids nonetheless, some will take slips. But it will be interesting to see how this plays out because the issues just continue to mount off field. in Athens. But we'll keep you posted on that story and all the rest throughout the week. We'll have the latest from Flowery Branch tomorrow with the Falcons as they get ready to go up against the Panthers on the road in Charlotte. But for this edition of Sports Tonight, for Ellie Parker, I am Bailey Burmaster. You all have a great night.